Typically, this is a Thursday night. I assume we're going to drop this on a Thursday night because everything's fucking everywhere at the moment on our socials. Monster Fest got in the way, mate.
Sorry.
Damn,
Well,
Monster
let's cancel it. There's still time.
Okay, so this is our Lucky Dip video. G'day, everybody. Glenn and Ben from the Good Movie Monday podcast. We've got a tin here full of movie titles. No Sam this week either, by the way.
No Sam.
No Sam. Sam will be back with us shortly.
We're Samless.
We're Samless.
We're Sam short. We're Sam short of a sandwich. No, that's not good.
Jesus.
Well, a laptop sandwich. That's even worse.
Okay, you may as well just put your...
And now you know why Sam's not with us on the show today.
She refused to participate.
Ben's getting too creepy. He's making me feel uncomfortable. Oh.
What's
There we
that?
go.
Oh, we got some critters action.
Critters.
Critters.
I'm show you. You can't see it. It's not HD enough for you to be able to read that. But Glenn can read it.
Is your finger covering a number? Is it number 2?
No.
No, it's just number
No,
1.
it's just critters.
How did that get in there?
I don't know. Some person must have put it in there.
Critters is a wonderful movie. This is
Isn't it though?
a slice of my childhood for sure. It was like one of those accessible horror movies when you were sort of 8 or 9
Yeah.
that was still scary as fuck but fun.
Yeah, your parents would kind of let you watch it.
My dad definitely did. I used to watch this one with my dad. The first time I saw it was with him.
Why did I tear the end off? I tear the end off just to make it neater.
Wow, you're a perfectionist.
I'm something.
Say what you want. Anal retentive is one of them.
I just like saying anal a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, what a great film.
Directed by Stephen Herrick.
I do like when the bounty hunters. I like the bounty hunters better than the critters.
Yeah.
The bounty hunters are kind of cool, and that whole bowling alley scene is pretty fun. But then it's like Weird Science. It's a horror movie version of Weird Science.
Yeah.
Because the one of the bounty hunters imprints on the Playboy magazine.
That's right. With tits.
With tits. It's so good.
Yeah, like I said, Stephen Herrick directed this one, and is he the guy that did Bill and Ted, the original?
Fucked if I know, mate.
I think he did. Better fucking fact check this shit before we go any further. But Billy Zane is in there.
Zane. Better listen to your friend Billy Zane. He's a cool dude.
Don Opper, the only character that goes through all 4 installments of the Critters franchise. Well, there's now 5 installments. I don't remember if he's part of the 5th one.
And then a little ginger kid who grows up to be a big ginger kid. I don't know if he ever hit his full...
What's his name again?
Did he hit his full growth? Did he ever grow up to be a full-size boy? A real boy?
Well, in Critters 2, he was a bit older.
He's a bit old, yeah. Like, he's definitely, he can get... It's only... In the first one, it's his sister who's always trying to get laid. And in the second one, he's old enough to get laid.
What a boring video this is. I'm still looking for the fucking director. Stephen Herrick.
Scott Grimes.
Scott Grimes, of course. Stephen Herrick, here we go. He did Mr. Holland's Opus. He did Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Three Musketeers.
You know what's a shame about all those movies that you just mentioned just then?
What?
Critters is the only one that stars M. Emmett Walsh. Like, what the fuck?
Forgot about that.
M. Emmett Walsh could have been in all of those movies and he would have been excellent.
Yeah, it's interesting. His career is very interesting. Anyway.
Could you imagine if it was M. Emmett Walsh instead of George Carlin as Rufus? That would have been fucking great.
I know. Well, we would have got him in the 3rd one, surely.
Yeah, definitely. Or imagine M. Emmett Walsh instead of William H. Macy as the vice principal, as Gene, the vice principal, or maybe even the PE coach instead of that guy from I can't remember the name of that sitcom with Susan Day, where it's like
that's right. It's not. I
can't remember what it's called.
Is that the one with not Patrick Duffy?
I don't know if it's got Patrick Duffy in it. I'm pretty sure that it's
Susan Summers, I think, and Patrick Duffy.
Yeah, that's Step by Step with your favorite Uncle Cody.
Sasha Mitchell.
Sasha Mitchell from the kickboxer movies. No, this one it was like a kind of he said she said, like romantic themed one. And in the original series, it's Susan Day is the female lead, and this guy, the guy who plays the PE teacher that's his friend in Mr. Holland's Opus, is the male lead.
Gotcha.
And then in the second season, Susan Day left, and Annie Potts replaced her as the love interest.
Yep. I remember that. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. It was on around the same time as Mr. Belvedere, and
Anyway,
that kind of
that's
stuff.
the beauty about this Lucky Dip is that we go into.
I like a good tangent.
Yeah, we go into tangents, and that's kind of the point of it.
But my point is, imagine
Yeah.
M. Emmett Walsh as the William H. Macy character in Mr. Holland's Opus.
What else do I want to say about Critters, though? Because I love the fact that all of those sort of throwbacks to sci-fi movies of the 50s are the same. You got Small Town, you got the infestation or the invasion.
It always happens in small towns.
The Critters is the Blob. The Critters is the Curse. Like, it's sort of...
The
all
Critters
same.
is Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Well,
The movie, I've sort of got in my head that I want to flesh out is exactly Critters. Like, in just with different kinds of critters.
yeah.
I'm a
Takes
hack.
all kinds of critters to make Glenn Cochran's fritters.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It's also the easiest way to write something.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. What have I got? Oh, classic Frog Dreaming.
Frog Dreaming, The Quest.
The Quest. Interesting. Like I run the
Fingerbone
Melbourne the Facebook page for Frog Dreaming, which I won't take credit for getting this on DVD, but it certainly influenced Umbrella to do so.
Sure.
Well, I created this Frog Dreaming Facebook group, and Everett DeRoche came on board. Brian Kavanagh, the editor, and a few others, and started sharing all their photos.
Henry Thomas?
Henry Thomas did not, but Brian Trenchard Smith did. And so we had all these creatives in one place on Facebook sharing behind-the-scenes photos. And the group was originally called Release It on DVD, like it's a petition. And then Umbrella got in touch with me and says, well, we're going to do this, do you have ideas or a way to connect certain people? I had no fucking idea. I said, talk to them. And they made it happen. But I like to think there was some kind of orchestration in the early days because this was the forgotten Australian kids film for a long time.
It's one of those things that when you call it a forgotten kids film,
You never forgot
I
it.
never forgot
No,
it.
I never forgot it too, but I would try to talk about it with people and they had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I think the same could be said with things like Celia and
No,
like a lot of those Mystery Castle and...
You hear me talk about classic Aussie films all the time, and I think so many Aussie films are forgotten. But this one, like in 1985, was it 86 maybe, Frog Dreaming. When it came out, it was a big deal on home video. Nearly every kid that was around at that time saw it.
I had it taped off TV, and it was
great.
with all the ads, and it was such a big deal.
And yet we had the worst video art for it.
Yeah.
Although I feel very nostalgic for that video art all the same. But then you go back and look at theatrical posters, the German poster, you look at the American poster. The movie had 3 titles. You had The Go Kids, The Quest, and Frog Dreaming.
And then
German
now it's actually kind of a standard of woke. With the mystical black man kind of character, you're not allowed to have in films anymore.
No, that's right.
Because it's Fingerbone Bill, isn't it?
But even though, for its time, that was quite progressive. They were, trying to actually incorporate an Indigenous culture into a story.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't regarded...
They weren't trying to be offensive or anything like that.
No, like stereotypes were a thing, and they didn't realise leaning heavily into them was a bad thing. But what else about the film? It's just such a beautifully shot film. Like, I think it was Brian Trenchard's best film, like, as far as...
And he only came into it, they were already shooting for 2 weeks. He's the replacement director.
He is. I want to know who shot the footage towards the start with the bike ride, like the chase. So there's a sequence, like a montage sequence of kids on bikes crossing tracks, and it's so well done. I want to know which director shot that stuff.
Yeah.
And if Brian Kavanagh is watching this, he always likes to reveal... Give us the answers. So.
It's the second unit director. Everyone else was back in Melbourne.
It was Henry Thomas's mum on a camcorder.
Because this is all shot out in regional Victoria, wasn't it? Well, not even that regional.
Well, no, a bit. So the quarry stuff, which was the main set piece, was down in Mount Eliza, down the Mornington Peninsula.
Yep. So still,
which is where Everett DeRoche lived.
Yeah.
Then you've got the township itself. Some of the train track stuff was up near Cockatoo in the Dandenongs, but then he rides past that little petrol station pump and all that. That is way up in the Alpine region. Woods End, I think it's called, which is like about a 3.5 hour drive out of Melbourne.
That's funnily enough. Woods End is like it's if you keep going past Frankston and Mornington, like it's like the next couple of towns past there. Like you keep going.
No.
Pretty sure.
Complete other
Yeah.
direction. Woods End, if you go up past Alexandra, up into Lake Eildon and up that way, and it all got destroyed in the Black Saturday bushfires.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, and it was such a good mystery film. Like it was there was a secret. This film had a secret, and as a kid, when that reveal happens, it's just so ingenious.
Yeah. I'm just looking up. No, you don't have to keep going.
I have
Keep
nothing
going.
else to add. I'm ready to go for the next
Oh,
one.
you want me to pick something? All right.
That's all right. Night at the Roxbury. Emilio.
Me? You? Me? Him?
One of one of my favorite SNL movies. I think I do like these unassuming SNL ones. You know, they're not box office hits, but they're direct to video.
So that's most of, like there's a couple of big ones that kind of
tentpole
SNL movies, and then there's a bunch more that
it's these smaller ones that are better.
become direct to video hits.
And they're the one. Yeah, they're the ones that for me they stick. They're the ones you got even Superstar and Ladies Man and like.
You love Ladies Man.
I love Ladies Man. That's disgusting.
Corky Romano.
Yep. And Night at the Roxbury. I mean.
Although I think Night at the Roxbury, I suppose that I did see all of them theatrically, so maybe.
What a moment in time Night at the Roxbury was though. It really represented its decade or its year.
I think it was the first thing I ever saw Jennifer Coolidge in.
Yeah, I forgot.
She's like the cop. She's the kind of Will Ferrell love interest cop character.
What other cameos were in that one? Because Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, the main ones. Oh, Dan Hayter played the dad.
Yeah.
This is almost like a prelude to Step Brothers.
Yeah, totally.
Which I never thought about until that moment just now.
And I do remember Jim Carrey doing
the sketch.
Yeah, because it wasn't the Roxbury wasn't the name of the sketches. Like it was
the characters.
It was the characters. Yeah,
and they were always at a nightclub. It was always the same setting for the sketches, just different dialogue, but same jokes. And they just turned it into what are these two? How do they live? And
is Richard Greco? Richard Greco's in Night at the Roxbury, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's playing superstar Richard Greco.
That's right.
But you kind of look at him, and it's because later on he would appear in Veronica Mars.
That's right.
In the exact opposite, like he's like full on coke bloke Richard Greco in Night at the Roxbury, and now he's anorexically thin, cancer scare Richard Greco in Veronica Mars.
And now he's pumping out lead turns in Asylum movies. So almighty Thor,
perfect with ex Baywatch cast members of both sexes.
I have not seen Night at the Roxbury, I reckon, for 10 years. But when I did watch it back in the day, I watched it a lot.
I still have the little desktop standee of the movie poster.
I don't know. This is a sign of getting old, right? Because I still think of Will Ferrell as that new guy on the scene.
Yeah.
But then you think of Night at the Roxbury's like over 20 years old.
Yeah. And now you're watching him and he's playing granddads.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, I guess now I understand back in the day when my dad just said, Jim Carrey's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
And I know he used to say it like just to piss me off, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he's not. He's fucking great.
What are you talking about? The Mask and Ace Ventura are both classics.
He's
had 2 hits.
Anything. And then, so it's the same thing. Like, Will Ferrell has been around for decades, and yet he's still that new guy from SNL.
Yeah. It's funny that Chris Kattan is the one who's fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, or not so surprising, really.
Not really. He was never that great.
His characters were never... Sorry, Chris.
Oh, let's just do one more.
All right.
Far out, man. California. With K.
With a K.
Yeah, right. This was another big deal when it came out.
Yeah, this was like I can't remember if this was before or after Natural Born Killers, but it was around that time, and it was one of those post-Tarantino edgy thrillers.
Yep.
With who's it? Juliette Lewis, Brad Pitt. Is Duchovny in it?
Yeah, David Duchovny.
Because that's right. It was post X-Files. It was one of his kind of post X-Files.
It was supposed to be his breakout into Hollywood, like from television to cinema.
Yeah.
And it's about.
And there's another one too. It's
the chick. I can't remember her name.
It's not Linda Fiorentino, but it's someone like that.
Yeah, it's in that
yeah
caliber. You can look.
No,
up
it's the one. Is it the one from Swimming with Sharks? The woman from Swimming with Sharks, and she's Ensign Rowe in Star Trek: Next Generation. Michelle Forbes.
Could be.
Is it Michelle Forbes?
All right, you do that. And
Right.
I mean, the thing about this was, like you said, it was sort of there was a wave of serial killer movies at the time that more so than like being an investigative film trying to solve serial killer movies. This was more about following the serial killers themselves.
Michelle Forbes.
There you go. And so Duchovny and Michelle Forbes play sort of true crime fanatics that are trying to put a book together about serial killers.
It's basically the opening of the last Halloween, not the last the Halloween reboot movie.
Yeah.
Where it's except now it's podcasts.
And to help sort of fund their trip, they take two characters on a road trip with them who want to get to California. Unbeknownst to them, they're serial killers.
Yeah.
Which interesting that Juliette Lewis would play one of them because she was from Natural Born Killers. I love it. This was a breakthrough for Brad Pitt for sure.
Yeah.
But it's a weird film though because it's got a perpetual tone to it, but it doesn't have a lift. It feels like a very monotone film.
It's funny, like I have never felt the need to rewatch it until now.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't super impressed with it. But was this Pitt's kind of big thing after Thelma and Louise, which was what first gained him
and
a
I
lot
think
of attention?
that has to be what got him this role because it's a very similar kind of role. Like, just I guess in the tone of it. But at this time, I was obsessed with these type of movies. So I would do like little movie marathons. I'd do California. There was a movie in the 90s called Swoon. I don't know if you know that one, about the Leopold Loeb murders, which was what Hitchcock's Rope was based on.
Right.
So about these two gay serial killers or thrill killers.
Wait, are you saying the two killers in Rope were gay?
And then there was another one, which I'm sure you know, is the Honeymoon Killers, which was like that was a very similar kind of film.
Was it Anthony LoBianco?
Yes, and that was from like the late 60s. But they were such good movies as a marathon to watch.
Yeah.
And California kind of was like the American sort of art house cross with mainstream. I'm just rambling here.
He's done Cool World in between. A River Runs Through It. So he's done a couple of things.
Okay.
So California, yeah. So okay.
He was already hot property.
It would have. I mean, yeah. Look, well, it's funny though because it's all about release dates and when things were filmed. So California came out in '93.
Might have been filmed in.
So prior to that, '92, A River Runs Through It. '92, Cool World. Two Fisted Tales, 91, Johnny Suede, and Thelma and Louise. But who knows when they
got filmed?
Were actually filmed versus when they were released.
And which one do you consider his breakthrough? I'd say California's the breakthrough because you don't remember him for the other ones.
Oh no, I thought Thelma and Louise was the like that's when prior to Thelma and Louise, abs didn't exist.
Yeah. That's true. He turned heads.
And then Thelma and Louise comes out. He bangs Gina Davis and then steals all her money.
I feel like
while not wearing a shirt, and all of a sudden it's like women discovered.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like that put him on the map, and then California established him.
Yeah. And then like A River Runs Through It, and all the Legends of the Fall, and all that kind of.
I love The River Runs Through It. Do you know why? I love the fishing stuff. I just love the slow fly fishing stuff.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to remember, and of course, and Johnny Suede, but that was like the indie art housey one.
Good double feature, mate. Is A River Runs Through It and Fried Green Tomatoes.
Yeah, right. It's the
it's that middle America slow lifestyle type of thing. I love it.
I always get, funnily enough, A River Runs Through It mixed up with Legends
of the Fall. That's another one. Brad Pitt.
But that one's more of a generational.
Yeah.
Like.
I'll take
upstairs, downstairs type thing.
I'll take A River Runs Through It any day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, got Robert Redford. Our phones are going off tap, mate.
I know. They're going nuts. And our attention spans are such that we can't ignore them.
We better just wrap the video up so we can take some messages here. See ya. Excellent.